One more episode. We're here for the All Elite Murder Theater podcast. Thank you for showing up or watching, and make sure you hit like and all that good stuff. We are going to get right into Dynamite and Rampage. Chris puts up a great video during the week of Dark Elevation and Dark. Very funny. Very
don't oversell it, man. They're not always great.
No, they are. They're great, and they're
are they
fun.
mid sometimes?
Sometimes they're mid.
They're definitely mid. I can only work with what they give me. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So we're not going to go over Dark Elevation. If you want to catch the videos. They're going to be within our YouTube page. We don't usually publish those as just regular podcasts. We're just, unless you need me to, and I will. But we're gonna get right into Dynamite and get into the exciting week that it was. I thought it was pretty fun. I'm sure we all have our differences of opinions on certain things, but I think we should start with what our games are going to be before we get into matches here. So we were thinking about doing some things here, and we're kind of like going through some fun stuff, try to add some things to this besides just reviewing everything and reviewing the storylines. So let's start out with who this week had the most dramatic match.
Are we really starting with this though, for real? Like, I'm not even, my head isn't in games yet. I think we should talk about some stuff first.
There we go.
You know what? I got something weird we can start out with, actually, if you guys will indulge me for a moment. Have you heard about, and I'm gonna throw a picture up here on my background real quick. And I don't know if you guys have been following the news lately. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
The mystery opponent, the mystery signing that's going to go down. Mm-hmm. Any predictions, any insight, any research you've done that might enlighten, or if you have a theory, do you think it might be a certain somebody? What kind of stuff have you guys been hearing, seeing, reading? Anything?
I've heard that's a couple wrestlers. There's one from WWE whose contract's up. I forgot her name though, but I also think that the one that I think it's going to be Keith Lee's wife, Mia Lim. I think her name is
Mia Yim.
Mia Yim.
Yeah.
So
you know what? That actually makes way more sense than what I was hoping for. Now that you say it, I was also thinking maybe Rusev's wife, not Rusev, sorry, Miro.
Yeah.
Lana, that could be her too, I guess. But there's one in particular that may be the one you were talking about that I'm very excited about. But before I say who that is, Tammy, have you thought about this at all? Is this something that's crossed your radar?
So I don't have a valid real life prediction, except for I have a wish instead, which is I would like to see Kylan Kane be that person. I don't think it is.
Signed person?
Yes, I don't think it is. It's probably one of these people you all are discussing.
No, because it's a WWE person that's their contract was up.
I don't know that's been confirmed. I think that's the theory.
Okay, all right. I thought it was confirmed that that's who it was.
Because I mean, there's a shitload of people that have been fired in the last year, and a lot of 90 days are running out, and 30-day no competes and all that stuff.
Okay.
I will say this. There's one person in particular that I really, really hope it is, and that is this young woman right here. One Miss Toni Storm. I honestly, I can't think of anybody that I would rather see come over. She is absolutely phenomenal. She's a great performer. She has an awesome look. She's got a cool personality. She's great on the mic. She is from New Zealand, I believe, originally. She's done a lot of indie work over the years. She's never really gotten her due over in the bigger company. I think this would be a great move professionally and just business-wise, not only for her, but also for AEW. I think she could bring a lot of fresh blood and maybe a different perspective to the women's division. So if it's not Toni Storm, we riot.
I am really excited about that idea. You have my interest peaked for sure. Can't wait to see who it is now.
I think if it is her, I think you guys will understand why I went for her, because I think she's got the same kind of vibe that we would all really appreciate.
And that's happening this week, right?
Supposedly they're doing the reveal Wednesday,
Okay.
or maybe it's on Rampage. He's gonna say who it is. I'm not sure yet. This
Okay.
is all I just started catching up with this story yesterday. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that I remember that name too. I remember they were talking about her as well. So
I mean,
I
just
don't really know much about her. So
she's a badass, man. That's really all there is to say.
all right.
She's got
Cool.
like a kind of like a New Japan strong style, sort of kick you in the face a lot kind of style. It's
Okay.
not this kind of bullshit rest holds and stuff like that.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Good deal. Good deal. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for that. It's always fun when they bring somebody in new because it pumps you up. It's like, yeah, but who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Yeah.
Tony's
And
good like that.
I love seeing all the defectors too. Now it could be somebody from Ring of Honor too. There's a lot of names from Ring of Honor that could be officially all elite at this point.
Mhm.
So who knows? This is a really cool time for AEW and for professional wrestling. There's a lot of stuff going on. And because you guys haven't had the, lifelong investment that I've had, maybe it's not as rad. But I mean, this is like a cool time to be a fan of the business. Honestly, there's just every week there's some new crazy shit happening. So for me, like anytime somebody comes and leaves like somewhere else that sucks, or they get plucked from obscurity, it's always so rewarding, and you just feel so good for those people. I love this.
Nice.
I heard about maybe an HBO Max deal and all these different things. So even though I don't have a
for
lot
like
of
the Ring of
history,
Honor stuff.
Yeah.
They've got this catalog now. There's so much happening.
I feel like at this point in my life, I might as well just not watch anything else because I'll have enough.
Trust me, it is really difficult to watch anything else when you watch enough wrestling.
Oh,
And you don't even have to watch all of it. If you just watch the stuff that's on TV, it's your whole week, really.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and then if you go and have to like find the stuff where you have to have like certain subscriptions or like YouTube channels, you have to pay for different things and stuff like that. Like it could really, there's more wrestling out there than people realize, I think. And you could actually probably find enough to keep you busy for 8 to 10 hours a day easily. If it's fun, you can do that. But if you don't have that kind of time, you miss out on a lot of cool stuff.
And I think it's kind of cool that Tammy and I are getting into it now, because I think if we got into it a couple years ago, it wouldn't have been as exciting as it is now. It seems like everything's evolving and changing so quickly now and getting better and better that I think we kind of picked the right time to get into it, as like an outside fan perspective. So
yeah, it's very much like the mid 90s, like when there was so much spotlight on the product and then all these promotions started getting like more noticed. It's very much like that now because people are watching AEW, or they're watching whoever the fuck else. They're watching Impact maybe. And it's like, oh yeah, so-and-so's from this place and so-and-so's from that place. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to go watch New Japan.
right.
Okay, I'm going to check out PWG. Okay, I'm going to check out CZW. I'm going to check out AWA. I'm going to check out NWA. It's like, whoa, there's a lot of this shit out there.
Yeah.
And then like
letters.
I legitimately feel like I just see more ads now than I used to for like local wrestling promotions. Like I see a lot of stuff come up on my social media feeds for like stuff happening in North Carolina, stuff happening in Virginia, which I didn't used to see up until about this last 9-10 months. I just think there's a lot more eyes on the business now. And I think it's cool because it reminds me of like the nostalgia from when I was younger, like way younger. And this was like a big deal. It was big business. It was billions and billions of dollars. And it wasn't a monopoly. And
Right.
it's back to being that again. And I think it's just so fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it's fun. It's exciting. All right. So Tammy, I'm not even gonna make suggestions since I got shot down on my thing here. So what's next, my love?
Well, I just like because my thinking cap wasn't on to think about what to pick about what question. I wanted to get into like remembering what happened all week before I answered anything.
All right. So you want to do that at the end?
I have to double give you a hard time because I wasn't around last week. So
That's true. I got to catch more shit here.
Yes.
Gotta strap in.
All right.
So I think we should just go through a couple matches first and then have a question quiz break in between every couple ones.
We'll do that. How about we do that between Dynamite and Rampage? We'll do the questions. That sound good?
Of course, I'm making it all about me because I'm like, shit, I gotta remember all this stuff. I
have an idea. How about if one of us feels froggy enough during a particular point, we can just say, hey, we're going to do this now.
All right. Sounds good.
Uh-oh.
Let's not script it that much. We can
I agree. I just wasn't ready for it to be the number one thing because I just couldn't remember. I just needed to like get into a conversation about wrestling to get my brain back in the game. That's all.
Yep. All right. So
Fair
let's
enough.
get into Dynamite. Right off the bat, we got CM Punk comes in and he is fighting Dax. And there's been a lot of rumors about Dax, but we'll get into that. I thought this match was pretty cool. I don't know. I didn't quite understand the significance of it all as far as like the way it would fit into the storyline, so to speak. It kind of does, kind of doesn't. It's weird to see Dax as a singles wrestler since, you know, we've always seen him with FTR and he's always been teamed up with FTR so much. It was kind of like the things, couple of things that stuck out for me, and then you guys can take it, is Punk standing up and putting saying, I'm going to get the strap. I'm going to get the strap. I'm going for the strap. That was a pretty interesting thing. And the second most interesting thing, and I think that kind of leads up to was leading up to the other promo, but the Gunn Club. So does that make the Gunn Club was in the audience giving those guys a bunch of shit? Now, to me, that projects that is Punk turning heel? Is FTR turning face? What's the situation here? I mean, as far as the overall match was concerned, you know, anybody in FTR can lift everybody else up to make the match look really good. And so the match was good in that sense. And Punk takes a beating very well. He's really good at taking a beat and like acting that up. And I think they were both great at the acting and selling the match quite well. Tammy, what was your thoughts on all of this?
Oh, well, I mean, I think, first of all, to your point about the, what are they actually called? The Gun Club kids?
Yeah.
I think, I was trying not to refer to them as that, but thank you. I think that got explained later, don't you think?
Yeah.
On matches that are announced later. So then in that sense, I'll just go over my brief notes on this match.
Tammy's notes.
I missed this segment so much last week. I love Tammy's notes.
Aw, you're so sweet. I thought it might be a relief not to be around, so I'm not annoying everyone, but I'm glad that my notes.
No, I think Rafe and I kind of sludged through that thing last week. We didn't have the what is it? The
pain in the ass.
The pizzazz.
No, the in the moment insight, you know what I mean? From the kind of perspective of just what the fuck is going on. The notes are so good because it's like somebody in real time just writing down like what is
that's
this?
Exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You can ask Rafe, he sits next to me. I hope I can get them scrawled out so I can understand them later is the only challenge. So this one is like short and sweet and to the point. Tough fight. People were into it. Lots of close calls. Thought Dax had a chance, but no. CM wants a belt.
All right. I like it.
Yeah,
I like the notes. All right, Chris, give me your perspective on this.
All right. So this was a fun match, right? It was kind of a slow burn. We had it was very like methodical, kind of strategic. It felt very 90s to me. And this was actually the nostalgia vibe was in it for like the first 2 or 3 matches on this card for me. It felt this match in particular, we touched on it a little bit last week about the whole Bret Hart situation and maybe he's coming in, maybe he's going to be the manager, but we've got 2 people in the ring that are specifically and outspokenly very much Bret Hart fans. CM Punk loves Bret Hart, has said so many good things about him over the years. And then Dax, same situation. And I think we saw a lot of Hitman style action throughout this match. It was really fun to watch. It felt real, if that makes sense. And I don't mean real like, oh, they're actually punching each other in the face. I mean, it felt like real professional wrestling to me, where people take the shit seriously And it's like, let's give everybody a really good match. Let's put some psychology into this. Let's drag it out without making it feel dragged out. And I think this is the first time that I know of that these guys have wrestled each other. And I could not have asked, well, that's not necessarily true. I was going to say I couldn't have asked for better from either of them for this match, but maybe we could have pushed it a little further. It certainly wasn't something you would shove on Rampage or Dark. It felt important. It felt big, even without having a build for it and without having a storyline to go with it. But it did tie into some things later on. I just think for me, it's weird because neither one of them were really around in the business at the time that this type of match was popular. And as far as, you know, obviously Chris Jericho's doing this whole sports entertainer thing right now, but this match style was made sort of really popular in the early to mid 90s, where it's like this kind of like, we're serious professional wrestlers. We're both here to kick each other's ass and put on a good show. This was the most sports entertainment thing of the week, I will say. And it was also the most professional wrestling thing of the week. I love this match way more than I thought I would watching the first 5 minutes of it. I was excited to see it on the card. And then as it started, I was like, all right, boys, we're dragging ass. What's going on here? And then I kind of like, I found myself on the edge of my seat, like, oh, this is getting good.
It picked up.
These guys know what they're doing. Well, it didn't though. It was that slow burn. It just, this was anything I could want in a professional match that I can watch and watch again and still see shit that I was like, oh damn, I didn't even catch that the first time. Just because it was so slow, you kind of catch yourself sort of slipping away from it and really paying attention the first time you watch it. And then you watch it again, it's like, damn, I didn't even notice he did that before. And then the third time I was like, man, these guys put in a fucking hell of a match here. So yeah, I dug the hell out of this.
Cool. Yeah.
I did too, actually.
I did too. Yeah. It was an entertaining match. And it's cool to see Punk kind of getting aggressive and getting focused in the sense that like, hey, I think I've got somewhere to go. Like I'm in the company. I've dealt with these, you know, with a couple of these heels, and now I'm gonna get into this, and I'm gonna set a goal for myself, and I'm gonna move my way up. So I think that's cool. And I think that from the first day that Punk got into AEW till now, like his matches are like much smoother, and all of the stuff that he's doing is much smoother. He's like, he's definitely gotten in better shape. He's definitely got his moves back. He's kind of back in the groove.
Yeah, I'm liking him more now.
And I'm liking Punk a lot more than I was before, because I just was like, you know, when you get that stuff bombarded on you when you're a new fan, you're just kind of like, okay, all right, how much is he going to bloviate on this? But now,
yeah,
it's starting to make more sense as we get deeper into the Punk era. So
I feel like it's very much where we're at with Jeff Hardy right now. Like
right.
hype, and then
right. Yeah,
I don't get it. Why does everybody give a shit? I don't care. This isn't that awesome.
I don't know. We'll talk about that. So then after that, we had the Jericho Appreciation Society promo. Okay. And and then we got into the Hardy Boys with Darby and Sting versus the AFO.
Wait, hold on. We just need to mention that Jericho's hair is looking lovely. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
it is, right?
Right.
He's using some oils or something.
Some oils, some treatments.
That shit has been rejuvenated.
He's taking his collagen and peptides.
Yeah, whatever brought those abs out is fixing up the hair too.
So this match, man, I thought was just fucking great, man.
What match is it?
This is the Hardy Boys, Darby and Sting versus the
eight-man tornado tag match.
Yeah, and I put this down as my most dramatic match. I threw this one. Yeah.
So did I.
I think we're all in agreement.
Man,
okay, so most dramatic match of the week, then the 8-man tornado tag from Dynamite. There it is.
And it was fun, man. It was pandemonium all across the board. It was high flying, daredevil, taking chances shit. It was exciting from 1 minute to the next. When things started going, you didn't know what was going to happen. You know, you were kind of I was on the edge of my seat the entire match. I thought it was fucking fantastic. When Hardy got up on that ledge and flipped off, I was like, holy shit, dude, that is just amazing. So
when that happened, I went, oh, thank God. Finally, a real Jeff Hardy spot. But go ahead. Sorry.
So, I mean, I thought it, like I said, it was a great match. It was Hardy's in action. It was Darby being Darby. It was Sting cleaning house. I think the Butcher and the Blade did a great job. I think Private Party did a great job.
Yes.
I mean, and you know, like when Matt Hardy gets thrown into the tables, man, I was like, uh-oh, this could be bad. But they did that perfectly. When Jeff Hardy did the flip, I was like, uh-oh, this could be bad. And Darby gets thrown down the stairs, and I mean, my toes curled when that happened. And it was just like, everything about it was like eyes wide open. This is exciting. This is one of the most dramatic matches. I love this. This was great. Tammy, you got notes, or how did you want to approach this one?
Okay, so this is one of those matches that I can't write fast enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's really hard. So all my notes are not as complete as they could be because I'm trying to watch and I can't write quick enough, and some of it's redundant. So I'll read what I have, which probably is like way too scaled down. But honestly, stuff like this makes me like wish I could go back in time, get into shape, and be a wrestler because I love creating chaos. So
Yes, you do.
it
That
seems
I will.
like fun.
I will agree with that.
He didn't
It is-
even like there was no pause. Yes, you do. Okay.
So at first, it's remember I put great walkout from the Andrade home office. Is that what they're calling themselves?
Family office.
Home office.
Family
I like home
office. Anyways, it's the stupidest name. Let's get rid of it. But anyways, I
Very
love
pandemic.
the whole walkout. I thought it was dramatic walkout. I was super digging it. And then I also don't exactly understand what a tornado match is. From what I gather, it's just a bunch of people running around outside the ring, maybe, and then you got to get one in. But they always seem to be running around in a circle, a bunch of people outside of it.
You're not
Maybe
wrong
that's-
necessarily.
Okay, that's the two I've seen. That's how it started. So I'm like, is the tornado happening and you're trying to get someone pinned in the eye of the storm?
That's not why it's called that, but that makes perfect sense. So yes.
Okay. So I mean that's what I thought. So it was like chaos, and I put great throwing Darby down the stairs. That's so him.
It's painful.
Lots of drama in all directions. Out in the arena, everywhere. Love it. Everywhere. Entertainment. Jeff Hardy got a ladder in the lobby. Whoa! Wow! Great teamwork, Matt and Sting. Was there really teamwork with Matt and Sting?
Right at the end,
Anyways.
there was that double finisher.
Yeah,
Okay,
the double
so that
finisher.
was my notes, but I mean, I could have wrote like 3 times as many, but I just can't write that fast, and I wouldn't be able to watch it. So that was the best I could do with all that action happening.
Yeah, Chris.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, back to nostalgia vibes for me. We've got Stinger in there. We've got the Hardy Boys. We've got very much a Hardy Boys style. What the fuck is happening? Chaotic, crazy, going through the crowds, going outside into the hallways of the arena, doing all this stuff. We've got stuff happening on the ramp. We've got stuff happening in the ring. It's bang, 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 bang everywhere. This is very Hardys to me. This was like the proper introduction of the Hardys to AEW, in my opinion, because we haven't had that yet. And it's felt very lackluster and very underwhelming and kind of sad and depressing at some points. Like, Jesus Christ, they did this too late. This made me change my mind. I was like, oh, thank God they're still in there. There was a spot on the ramp with Private Party and Matt Hardy, I think it was, I believe, when they did like they put him up in the air and did the suplex and they dropped him back on the ramp. That was awesome. There was some stuff all through here that just felt like I was 14 again. But it was chaotic to the point that it was like, this is hard to keep up with, but not to the point of I have no idea what's going on. I very much felt through this entire match like I can keep up with this. I know what's happening. I know where everybody is right now, which is something I don't think you always get with AEW with these big matches. I think sometimes it's like, what is happening? Where did everybody go? So-and-so was in there a second ago. Now they're gone. I can't see them.
Right.
This didn't feel that way to me. The one thing I will say that I was sort of a little bit concerned with, well, okay, there was two things actually. I texted you guys in real time saying, I'm so tired of people throwing Darby Allin down fucking flights
I
of
remember
stairs.
that.
Because I am like, how much more is this guy gonna push himself? Like, are we gonna have to watch his skull crack open on television one day? Is he literally gonna go like full concussion? Maybe he's gonna have a seizure or something, and then we're gonna go, oh, okay, maybe like maybe he did too much. Maybe. What's it gonna take for Darby Allin to stop? Now, I will say this: the throw was very careful. It was more careful than some of the other flights of stairs I've seen him go down.
Oh yeah.
And credit to the butcher for that.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah. And then so there was a spot with Sting in the ring. It's him and Darby and Private Party, and they're doing their thing. Sting comes down off of the post, and he's supposed to hit, like it looks like he's prepping to hit the Scorpion Death Drop.
Yeah.
And he's on the floor, and then he's trying to get back him. He's back down. He's trying to get back him. He's back down. And I'm like, oh shit. Is Sting okay? Is he having a fucking stroke? And then finally, and then Matt Hardy actually killed time. He looked over and he was like, oh, what the fuck is happening? So he just starts, punching the other dude. And then Sting's like looking at him. I'm like, I'm trying, man. I'm gonna get up in a minute. And then he finally gets him up, and they do the twist of fate with the Scorpion Death Drop at the same time. And that's the double finish. Great way to end the match. But I was a little worried about Sting here.
Yeah.
Maybe this was a little bit too much. The chaos in the corner thing. And when he took that fucking chair shot, when I tell you how much, like my whole body went, oh, fuck. Because you guys might not know this. I don't know if I've explained it before. But Sting basically ended his career at one point and said, I'm done, because of a nasty buckle bomb that he took over in WWE.
Mm-hmm. We're familiar with that.
Mm-hmm. Anytime I see something near his neck or his back, I'm automatically like, oh shit, he's done. It's over. They're gonna bring out a stretcher. Shit. But that wasn't the case. And then I saw him struggling there, and I was like, oh God, is he gonna make it through this? And he made it through. And kudos to the guy doing this for 40 years. And he's still just out there killing it, making the young boys look bad. I mean,
I know.
Thank you, Sting.
Every time, it seems like every time he's been on, it's been a fantastic match.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. So it's been epic, and I've enjoyed it quite thoroughly. I hope
I feel better about aging when I look at Sting.
Mm-hmm. So I'm worried about Darby, and he's a young guy. I'm worried about Sting, and he's an older guy. Jeff Hardy gave us maybe one of the best swantons I've seen from him in the last decade and a half. That spot outside with the double tables on the boat. I mean, Jesus, that was perfect. A couple inches the wrong direction, that shit could have went real bad.
Real bad. I was like, oh no.
So I was super grateful to see that, because it felt right. It felt like, oh shit, that's Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Not the shit we got the last couple of weeks. That was Jeff Hardy. Like peak performance, perfect landing. Everybody was safe. It was awesome.
Yeah. Sick match,
man. As far as matches, super dramatic, because there was moments where I was like, oh my God, somebody's dead. And it was different people. So, and kudos to everybody in the match, Private Party and Butcher and Blade as well, because everybody sold this thing like it was the worst thing they've ever done.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was magnetic. It was fun to watch. It was scary. It was everything you want from a big, crazy match like this. So I loved it. I'm worried about everyone, and I'm so happy that I got to see this.
It was pay-per-view worthy. That's how good it was.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
100%.
I agree with that 100%.
Oh man. Yep. Again, we don't know how they top themselves, but they keep doing it. So it's the more the better. Okay. And then after that, we had the FTR promo, and they're talking about going after Gunn Club. I think that's coming on Wednesday, or is that on Rampage of next week?
I'm not positive.
Okay.
Not positive. Is it just me? Cash sounded. It was like he was unconvinced in his own promo. If that makes sense.
I did. Hesitant.
I mean,
almost.
Dax killed his portion of this promo.
Right.
I did like the part where Cash was like, I'm not calling them the Gun Club. They're the Ass Boys. And then Dax flipped that at the end and said, I'm not calling them the Ass Boys. They're Billy's sons. Like,
Right.
that was like, ooh, that felt more disrespectful for some reason. Ow. But Dax, man, when he got on the mic, he's like, oh, and he was yelling, and it felt real. That shit was dope. But Cash in the beginning of this thing was kind of like, like lost or something.
It was like he was hesitant. It was almost like it was
Yeah.
hesitant and tiny bit nervous. That's
Yeah.
the way I felt when he first started going. But then towards the end, it was like, okay, that's a convincing promo. And
Right.
I like the fact that I really think that the Gun Club's coming into their own as good heels. And so, I think that that's cool because they are good wrestlers. I mean, they know the moves. They're really good. And so, and I think that they're really pushing that gimmick the right way. And I think it's helping them a lot. So they're going to be good heels down the road. Tammy, did you have any opinions on that promo at all? Or
Well, I'm just thinking, like, I'm actually glad it was said, like, about the Suns thing, because I feel like that's really what the whole Ass Boys thing's about. It's like they're not their own thing, they're their dad's
Right.
thing.
Mhm.
And to me, that's part of why I don't like it, actually. It's like you can't take them for them when they're in the shadow of their father, and then they're with the same gimmick and the same catchphrase that I don't like, anyways. But it's not just that I don't like it, it's just that they don't get a chance to be themselves as two independent, like, tag teams. They're just in the shadow, and they're old enough and been experienced enough now to do their own thing. And because they are young and they are promising, like, it would be better to see them take that in another direction. Even if they're going to be heels, they should be their own heels with their own catchphrase or whatever.
Well, I agree and I disagree with you on that because I disagree in the fact that I agree that they should become their own people, but I disagree in the fact that they're getting press. People are noticing them. I mean, even Danhausen's did a whole song about it. I mean,
Yeah, but what is that disagreeing with me about anything? We're not even talking about people getting pressed, so I don't understand.
No, I'm saying that you're saying that the ass boy gimmick, you don't like the ass boy gimmick. And I said, I agree
Right.
and
It's not
disagree.
about how much attention it gets. It's just that I don't like it.
You're missing the point. My point is that I agree and disagree with you because
Look,
I
you hear
feel,
how he's so frustrated.
look, this is my life, people. This is it.
You're so serious right
This
now.
is
Go
the
ahead with your
struggle.
point.
This is the struggle that I deal with. 20 years, 20
More
plus
than
years,
that. More than that.
20 plus years of this fight against the current.
What was the
So
point?
there's two sides to this argument, right? There's the side of
I don't understand the argument.
there's the side of these guys are still young, they're still new in the business, they still need that extra push from daddy's name, right? And then there's the other side of this where it's like these kids are good, they know the business, they already have enough crowd reaction, they don't need Billy anymore.
Right.
Both of these things coming together, I think, are contradictory, right? I personally want to see this storyline go to where they end up kicking the shit out of their dad one time.
Ooh,
Where they just they
Chris,
get
that's so
tired of his
wrong.
shit and they totally flip out and like destroy him and he just sells the hell out of it. They bury him all over the arena or whatever. I think that's the only logical place for this story to go eventually, unless you just do the heartwarming, it's time for you boys to fly on your own, flap them cheeks, and they go and do their own thing.
Flap them cheeks. That's the title of the podcast.
I mean, that's the two directions that this could go, right? Eventually, he sends the birdies out on their way, or they beat down the old man, and it's like, F you, we don't need you anymore, we're done.
Yeah.
And your shit is weak, and the ass boy stuff is lame, and you're lame because you were the ass man. We're done with this shit. And then, they turn their back on their family, their father, blah, 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 the one that got them into the business. And it's this whole thing. I think that's the more dramatic, more powerful way to go. It's got to happen eventually, right? They can't do this forever.
Well, I hope they flap their cheeks.
Well, I can't stop thinking about them flapping their cheeks. Now, if you saw the visuals in my head, they're very
Oh my
hilarious.
God. It's so good.
I just imagine them flying away like baby birdies with their cheeks instead of wings.
Some of the stuff that comes out of my mouth sometimes, it's just
Yeah, but it's brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh, right. Yeah. That promo transitioned into the Moxley Danielson versus the Varsity Blondes and the grappling coalition, as what Regal calls them, the grappling coalition, grappling cooperative. I thought that was a cool phrase. That was awesome.
the Blackpool Combat Club
That's right.
is the greatest name I have ever heard in my life.
Oh
For
yeah,
a company in America.
they already have the shirts out.
The shirt is whack too. No disrespect, but of all the cool shit that they could have done, you could have had like a seal with like some cool circular shit. We just get the Mox fist with different blood on it.
Right.
Yeah, it could have been better. I'm a little upset about it.
Well, this match, I thought, well, we had Julia pouting on the side, which was what she was doing in Dark Elevate Dark. We had
She's
the
not even
varsity-
pouting. She's just being a
Just sitting there.
disrespectful young lady sitting there like an angry teenager at a family dinner.
Right,
I'm not eating this.
right.
This is a dumb turn for her.
Chris not happy with the turn.
I
As-
want more, and I want it yesterday.
Exactly. I want more from this one too. As far as the match is concerned, it's your classic Mox Danielson dismantling, destroying these guys. But I still thought that the Varsity Blondes hung in there pretty well. They were very professional against them. They did their job pretty well, I thought. But we were never expecting them to win. The only thing that I was really expecting to happen was maybe to try to get William Regal to because he made a few things about talking about how Griff was tough and Griff was good. And he had some comments and some good things to say about the Varsity Blondes. And I'm thinking, okay, is this one of those Yuta things where they're trying to see if they can incorporate him into the grappling co-op? But again, it was like one of the dismantling, perfect technique, perfect wrestling type of thing that just destroyed the Blondes. Cool, a good match, fun. I like watching Danielson and Mox rip people apart. It's great. But yeah, I kind of thought that there would be a little bit more of a storyline thing going here, and it really never really happened. So, hey, Tammy.
My notes are brief.
All right, Tammy's
Decent.
notes.
Decent. Moxley gets the win. We knew that Mox and Danielson would get this. Blackpool Combat Club. End of notes.
Chris, you're up.
All right. So the promo after this match was definitely way better than the match itself, right?
Right.
And when I saw this match on the card, I was like, oh shit, because you guys know I love the Blondes.
Yeah, I like the Blondes too.
And I think they're
all do.
great. I enjoy watching them. I enjoy watching them kick other people's asses. I hate when they get thrown into something where it's like, oh Jesus, they're gonna take another ass whooping this week. And it's gonna be so bad, and they're not gonna get any mic time. Here's the thing though, it's Mox and Bryan Danielson. You can't be mad watching them hurt anyone because it's just so damn fun to watch.
It really is.
And the
love
promo at the end just sealed it. By the time that promo was over, I forgot that they just had a match with the Blondes.
Yeah.
It was whatever. And this shit with Julia, I already said something. I said something on one of my videos for earlier this week. This is bullshit. We're doing a too little too late. This is Wardlow again.
Yeah.
I don't know
right.
what's going on. It's stupid. She should have already done something cool by now. Clearly, she's done with these assholes.
Right.
Let's get Julia doing something badass and getting in the women's division and
Right.
being whatever she's gonna be. Because I'm ready for this to be over. She doesn't need to carry anybody's jackets. She doesn't need to be the lipstick on the pig, if you will. She can go and do something cool now. And it's time. It's been time. Let's go.
Right.
That's all I've got.
Yeah, and her in-ring shit's getting better. She's getting nasty. She's getting better moves. I mean, let's go. Push her.
Not only that,
Push
but
her.
her timing has picked up.
Mhm.
She's very much more self-aware. She's very much more aware of what's happening in the ring as well as what's happening in the crowd. She needs to do something different ASAP.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else on that one before we move on to the man of the night? And then after that, we get the man, MJF comes
My
out.
jerk off friend.
Oh, easy, buddy.
You remember that segment? Maybe you guys don't. That's what Jericho was calling him for a while. My jerk off friend.
That's funny. So we get this promo basically telling that Wardlow is nothing, that he doesn't have a contract with AEW and his contract is with MJF, and MJF is going to put him on ice.
Oh, and also he's going to piss on CM Punk's grave.
And he's going to piss on CM Punk's grave. And they removed Wardlow from the AEW website completely as not a wrestler in AEW. Tammy.
Premium storytelling.
Yeah, premium storytelling. Tammy, what are your thoughts?
I have no thoughts. I don't even know what you're talking about.
MJF did a whole promo. Wardlow tried to come out and kill him. And
Right.
basically, MJF canceled Wardlow and said he needed to be removed from the building.
Tammy went to get popcorn. She was not there.
She said, MJF snack time.
No, that's not true. I have it here.
What do you have?
I don't have anything.
And you don't have anything.
I-
What do you mean you have it here
I
and
mean,
you don't have it there?
You have nothing.
I have it listed here. MJF speaks for the first time since costing Wardlow the TNT title, and that's it.
And no notes. Well,
I didn't figure it needed notes. It was just he's always just entertaining.
it's,
And I
it's a major storyline. It's what we talk about on the podcast.
Doesn't need notes at all.
Nah,
Not
the fact-
important.
The fact
Mr. Scarf is talking and we're done.
Mr. Scarf.
Moving on.
Exactly.
I
Chris
mean,
pulled up my notes for me.
what was that? All right, well, let me get your opinion, Chris.
Well,
Holy shit.
I mean, this was, and for lack of a better word, this was pinnacle MJF.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This was top of the game. Shit on Texas for a minute. Shit on everyone in the audience for a minute. Shit on everybody watching on TV for a minute. And then talk about how much I hate everybody I've had to deal with in the last couple of weeks.
Right.
He shits on CM Punk, and he then proceeds to pick Wardlow apart down to, you're just a guy I hired. You don't really work here, as shown by the AEW branded security manning the ring to prevent this non-employee from getting down there.
Yeah.
Couple that with the removing him from the active roster page and all these things. It's very like masterful storytelling, very fun for the people that maybe aren't so in the know. It's cool for people. I'll say this though, his stuff is still on Pro Wrestling Tees on Undershop AEW. So you didn't really remove him.
Right, of course.
Stupid.
Not going to make him not make a living.
Right. But this whole thing about you're going to sit at home now. You're not going to be welcome to the shows. How long can you do that before you actually literally do ruin Wardlow as a character and as a person? This can't last for very long.
Mm-mm.
Because if it does, then you've just built this guy up and built him up and finally done this turn, and now we're not going to have him on TV. I call bullshit. I think maybe we won't have him for a week at most.
Right. Yeah, and I think
if they do anything else, they're idiots.
Right, and I think that they'll figure out a way to like incorporate this in.
He's going to buy a front row seat. He's going to be at every show. He's going to be in the crowd.
Right.
It feels a little predictable, but it also feels like very unique in the sense of, I hired this guy as my own personal security, et cetera, et cetera. I don't like that Wardlow hasn't gotten his comeuppance yet.
Yeah.
I really hope that happens soon.
All right. Right on. So, Tammy, any last minute notes on that, or
I
is
just
it all?
want to say I do remember all of that happening, and I just didn't write anything down about it.
All
And
right.
we're pissing on Punk's grave.
All right. So then right after that, we had the promo with the best friends. And I knew this was coming because I talked about it before. The BTE segments where Trent had, hey, Yuta, this is
Yeah,
you.
we
It's
talked
a
about it
big
last
pile of
week.
poo. It's a big pile of poo, and it's on my knee pad.
And we've actually talked about this for maybe a couple of months now, where
Yeah.
Yuta has always been kind of the outside, like, why are you there? You don't belong here. As soon as Trent came back, it was like, no. This is my shit.
Yeah.
I didn't let you come in here, and I
Right.
don't care about you. How do you feel about Yuta though, with the whole what happened last week versus, because I mean, nothing really changed as
No.
far, like, he's not a part of their clique now. He's not doing anything else. So the whole I'm not here to be a best friend. I'm here to be the best wrestler. Okay, but that's literally the only thing keeping you relevant at the moment. What's next?
Yeah, I think he's going to join Danielson and those guys. I think that's going to come, and I think that'll be a good compliment to him because he's a high flyer more than the other guys are, and I think that'll be fun. Also, you need to notice. Also, a little note that I made was that you don't see Statlander with the best friends too much anymore. She's not with him a lot. Normally she's been with him constantly, right?
She's going through some things.
She's going through some things. But yeah, man, I knew the rivalry was coming, and I'd like to see a great match between Yuta and Trent. That's going to be super fun. And I'm looking forward to see where Yuta goes because I think he's a great wrestler too. So Tammy, how do you feel about that?
I reserve judgment on this situation because right now, like, I think Yuta's a good wrestler, but he's a big yawn as far as an entertainer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe he hasn't had the opportunity because he's in this silly let's all hug it out best friends bullshit, which is not my favorite. I like all the wrestlers individually, but I cannot stand the booping, the hugging, and all that bullshit. Okay. So we'll see what happens, I'm reserving judgment to give him a time to shine to either win me over or not.
Okay, that's good enough. So then we jump right into the Jay Lethal Adam Cole. I'm going to let Chris start this one out.
So for me, this very much felt like a match I've seen a bunch of times, but a match that I could always watch again. Jay Lethal and Adam Cole have a very long in-ring history. We're talking about multiple promotions and multiple barn burners, like great matches between these guys always. This match, however, we saw a lot of Jay Lethal and Adam Cole both knowing what the other was going to do. There was a lot of counters. There was a lot of, nah, not this time, son.
Yeah.
I got you. And it was that was what made this unique for me. Here's the issue with this whole thing for me. Jay Lethal gets wins on Dark. He gets wins on Dark Elevation. He comes over to Rampage or Dynamite, and he's not winning. And it's never believable. It's never like, oh yeah, Jay Lethal definitely would have lost that. It's and with Adam Cole in particular, again, we have interference or distractions. That's the only way he's been winning on these shows. There's always somebody else involved for Adam Cole to get a win. I don't think we're doing either of these guys any benefit. Neither one of them is being elevated by these scenarios. Okay. We've got two great performers who do this match. It's a great match, and neither one of them is any better for it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that. I thought it was a fun match. It's like the first time I've seen them wrestle together. I've always enjoyed Jay Lethal. Since he came in, we've seen him live a couple times, and he's fantastic wrestler. I mean, he's got the moves. The cheap win by Adam Cole, but Adam Cole wins cheap all the time. He never wins clean. So,
which means he's not a legitimate threat for a title picture.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
Which is why the rest of it is so stupid.
Right. Yeah, Tammy.
So, I put that these are two entertaining people about to wrestle. And I think I mean, the rest of my notes is very brief.
Mhm.
Cheap win by Adam, fight with Hangman over belt. But the two entertaining people about to wrestle, I think summed it up.
Mhm.
They're both super entertaining.
Yeah.
So it's super fun. But I do resonate with the fact that it feels like Jay Lethal should be winning more in Dynamite than he is. You know, they both seem very established. And I totally agree with the fact that if Adam Cole's such a badass, he doesn't need all these cheats.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're not doing him any favors. They're basically devaluing his ability to win by making his wins all cheats.
Mhm.
But also solidified the asshole quotient of his personality, which is very heelish, and people need that too. But to me, it just feels like somebody's saving face. Like I feel like sometimes with the cheats, when there's two like really good people, we'll be like, well, he can't really beat you. We need to save face for you. So there's going to be a cheat created so that nobody is really beaten anybody else through strength and technique.
Yep.
And this was sometimes that is needed because when you have two unequally matched people, for the unequally matched person, the less good or the less experienced person needs a cheat on the other side to make their win legit. You know what I mean? Did I say that right? I think I'm like talking in circles.
No,
but
no, you did.
No, you're good.
as far as this one goes, we know that they're both experienced and good, and they had to make a decision. And so, like, somebody had to save face. And I say, fuck the saving face shit, because all is making you look is weaker because you can't handle if you get your ass beat or not. And guess what? Sometimes you do.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean you're not good. Everybody has an off moment or an off day. So somebody needs to lose. And then somebody needs to come back and be like, shit was off that day. I had maybe taken some things for granted, but today I'm back. And that's more powerful than this cheat back and forth shit with really people.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. Yes.
But
sometimes you have to lose so that your wins are more important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That really sums it up well.
That sums
Hey,
it
can
up
we
well.
let's time out for a second.
Paul. Back at it. All right. We just talked about the Adam Cole and Lethal.
Here's the thing about Adam Cole, you guys. Adam Cole by himself should be a very credible threat to any title picture, to any individual wrestler. Maybe not your Lance Archers or, well, maybe
Keith
Lance
Lee.
Archer might be the only guy. Well, Keith Lee, I feel like they could put on a hell of a match. Where I'm going with that is this. When you constantly have to have somebody, the only way they win is not clean. And it's not a decisive victory for that individual, despite who their opponent is. You're demeaning this person as a wrestler, as a character, as everything. And when you get somebody like Adam Cole who talks so much shit and does it well, and he's right most of the time, to then need Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly to come out and do something for you, right? You're then making yourself seem like a less credible opponent for anyone, because you can't win by yourself. The second somebody puts you in a cage or in a no DQ match, you're fucked, right? Because you don't have a backup anymore.
Right.
So Adam Cole, to me, has always been somebody who doesn't need all of those things, because Adam Cole has an incredible moveset. He's got stamina. He can do big spots, like really crazy, super fun, entertaining, like the ultimate kind of spots that make you go, holy shit, he's that guy.
Yeah.
And they're just, I mean, we're just belittling him as a person at this point. And I think the booking sucks for him, unfortunately. Jay Lethal, on the other hand, Jay Lethal doesn't necessarily, he's not hurt by shitty booking, right? Like Jay Lethal looks good even when he loses.
Right. He does.
And I mean, he looks fantastic every time the guy's in the ring. He's always doing his Jay Lethal thing. He's got all these extra personality traits, and he's got so many adaptive, multiple move sets that there's really nobody can touch Jay Lethal in a ring. But that makes the losses feel forced. It makes them feel fake. And that's where it bothers me when you have somebody like Jay Lethal lose to saying Adam Cole in such a stupid, demeaning kind of way, it just makes the show quality start to drop. And this particular moment at the end of this match was where this show and the rest of the week really for AEW kind of went downhill for me.
Oh, all right. Well, that's interesting.
This was like the beginning of the end.
Oh, okay. We'll talk more about that. Then
I watched a full Dark and Elevation and did recaps on both of them and still thought that these shows were worse.
Wow. Oh.
The beginning half of the show was fantastic. The latter half was
that was great. So then we get into
I think he said the latter half wasn't.
No, the latter match, not the later half is what he's talking about.
We'll get there.
Right. So then Dustin, you had the Dustin Archer promo. That was cool. We'll talk about that later. And then we had
that promo was 100 times better than the fucking match was.
It was. All right. That's for sure. But we'll get into that later. Then we have Sammy and Ty with this garbage promo about I'm so sick of these two dopes. I can't even believe where this is going with these guys. And it's disappointing because Sammy's he's such a good wrestler, and Ty Conti's a good wrestler. And these two together, I think, are poison. But that's just me. Tammy, what? Any opinion on this? Remember, they came out and then they were like, Lambert kissed the belt.
They came out and they were sucking each other off for a little bit. And it was, and there was Portuguese being thrown out.
Yeah.
And then it was it went nowhere. Dan Lambert came out. He's a co-TNT champion. They've desecrated the belts.
Yes, because they were in bed together.
List, Grace? Because I don't see my notes on this.
It wasn't on the list. You would have had to write it in as a promo.
Do you remember the segment, Tammy? Sammy and Ty are in the ring and they're talking,
but I don't see all my notes on it. So
okay,
it was garbage.
The best thing that happened here was Dan Lambert saying he was the most beloved co-TNT champion of all time. That was the only gem in this bucket of shit.
Did I go get ice cream during this time? What is who else was in it?
It's another snack time. And Scarfy's nowhere to be found.
Who else was in it?
Sammy and Ty.
Oh, I think I don't like. Oh, is that what I said? Like her head seems to be getting bigger.
Yes.
Okay.
It was so bad.
No offense. I really was asking. I mean, I really seemed like she's
her
beautiful.
Her face is bloating up.
Criticizing her, but she looks different for some reason. I couldn't put my finger on it. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. I'm just asking to clarify which promo it was, because I think I was with you, Chris, and then somehow at this point I was just like, I'm done with these two.
Ty has become so much less appealing visually and just as a character on television.
Yeah.
I think it's going in the wrong direction.
It's going so far south so fast.
It really is. I hope they change it. I hope they do something. At first, when I started watching AEW, I loved the two of them, and now I just can't even stand looking at them. I just really can't. Now, are they going to do a heel turn, or are they going to still try to be the faces that they are? Because if they're a heel turn, great. I already don't like them, so it's going to be fine. But
so this is clearly the mistake, right? This is the standard trope in wrestling where you have a couple who is now together publicly. And the public is either going to love them and eat that shit up, or it's going to come across like this, where it's just hot garbage on a dirty plate. And somehow you're supposed to look at it and go, no, it's just bad. It's bad. It makes me hate both of them as individuals and as a couple, which I shouldn't even care about. Like, I hope they're happy together. I hope they're having a great time wherever they are. I just don't want it on my fucking TV show, and I don't want it taking up time on Dynamite, the big A show of AEW. Horse shit.
I concur.
Hot, steaming green horse shit. This is bad, like nuclear bad. Like, I fucking don't want to see them anymore bad.
Right. Me too. I'm with you.
I want to double down and say I don't hate them. I think they're both amazing wrestlers and I love them individually, but I feel like there was a lot of controversy behind the scenes with this relationship, and it should just be separate from the entertainment, from their jobs.
But
And
that's not what they're doing. They're
dangerous.
throwing it in our faces now, and it's bad.
Yeah,
And
it's
next
terrible.
week they could break up, and then what are they going to write that in the storyline? Just be you. Enjoy your life,
That's
don't
the
bring it
thing.
into the ring.
When you
don't
put their
bring it into-
relationship into the stories, now it has to be in the stories. So if they do ever break up, they have to do that too.
Now
And
I
it's
just
stupid.
think it takes away from both of them. It takes away from both of them. They're both great wrestlers. I do not want to lump them together. I want to see them individually do well. And I think we need to remember that they're excellent wrestlers. They're very special.
They are.
For them,
But you're right. It does take away from both of them, and it adds nothing. It adds nothing. No redeeming qualities.
Nothing at all.
None. If anything, it feels like, I don't know if rumors are true, but it was like when Sammy got the belt and then got it taken from him so fast that they were like worried about the press because of them two together. These two things shouldn't matter. Well, I don't really care what they do off. I mean, I do care. I mean, if they're racist and they're transphobic or homophobic, then I'm probably not going to want to be their favorite fan. But I mean, saying their personal life, their relationships and these things, the whole cave fab, whatever you call it, like keep that line because, it just feels like now they're a package deal. So how are they going to move forward when they're doing other things?
Right. And now
you know what? I feel like Ty Conti's really good and has potential to be a champion. And
she so does.
Yeah.
Like she was building and building and building. And then there was that match that we talk about a lot on this channel. Yeah. And we've mentioned that match several times, right? Yeah. What the fuck? You talk about derailing someone's momentum.
Oh, they did it.
He was building. Sammy was already there. He'd been building his reputation and his momentum for 3 years in this company. He started out being kind of a nobody, and then he went to this picture where the TNT title mattered. And then now it's like, fuck both of these idiots.
Yeah.
This is stupid. I don't want to see them anymore. I'll watch them again, but I don't want any more of this couple shit.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with you too. And look what else and I'm telling you, they're ruining the whole Anna J, Ty Conti team.
Yeah.
They've ruined that.
Team. They were getting better and better.
Yeah, they were getting better and better. They had that fantastic match against Bunny and Penelope. And now you see Anna J getting teamed up with Ruby Soho, which I'm not against, but it's like that.
That was actually a really good match.
That was a great match, but I'm not against that match at all. But the fact of the matter is that it was supposed
this
to
was our team though. This was the best friends, like the real best friends.
Yeah, right. It was like Barbie and Brazilian Barbie together.
Yeah. It's true. And it was like, okay, these guys could be like a legit tag team, like a real legit tag team.
Which is something we lack in this company too, is female tag teams.
Female tag teams like that. And now they're putting Ruby in with Anna, which is cool because I think they work well together, but it just wholly derails that whole thing that they were just building up to. You know what I mean? And it's like, I hate it. I hope they change it. I hate it. I don't even want to address it anymore. Whew. So then.
I mean, listen, we're talking about a person that I said was in my match of the year for 2021.
Yeah.
In Ty Conti, right? That was like my favorite match, I think, for the whole year last year. And now I'm looking at somebody and I'm like,
yeah, he's just aggravating.
I don't give a fuck about this. Your Instagram is annoying enough.
Right.
Get off my TV.
Right.
Like, you're giving me go away heat.
Right.
I don't like it.
Go away heat. So then we had the Swerve Starks promo. That leads into Rampage. And then we got into the legit Layla Hirsch versus Red Velvet. This is another match that's repeated. And I'll tell you why this is the reasoning behind why they did it. Because they were both 1-1 against each other and someone had to move up in the ranks. Why they did it so soon, I have no idea. But that's why they had this match. This match was dull. It was a repeat of all 18 of these beforehand. And I'm not talking about it anymore. If you guys want to talk about it, by all means, we can. But I thought it was just, I think this is not a good line, a good plot line going forward here.
Well, my notes were just been there, done that. So
Yeah, that's really what it was. If Chris, if you have any opinions, then we'll just move on. No, no, done. I don't, makes no sense. Then we had
I've
Jade.
said enough about this group of women and how much they need to separate all of them. So
Oh, they do. And then we had the Jade Cargill promo. We don't know who her opponent's going to be for her 30th win, supposedly, but she's more focused on her party. So, okay.
this was a stupid promo. This was
I
dumb.
thought so too. I didn't like
This was not serving to Jade. And the only good thing in this was Tony, cut the shit. That was the best part of this. The rest of it was stupid. I don't understand the point. We're wasting time.
Wasting time. I agree. So then we got into the Thunder Rosa promo, and then Nyla Rose came and gave her a beatdown.
Jesus fucking Christ.
You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, I see what
So
they're
when
doing.
I said a few minutes ago, this is where the show starts going downhill.
Yeah.
Like clearly you can see what I meant. Like this was all bad.
Right.
It's all bad.
Yep. And then we get to Tammy.
Hold on, wait.
All right, wait.
Tammy, how did you feel about this Rosa segment?
well, my notes were Nyla healing it up and challenges Thunder Rosa. Thunder says, I got a lot planned. Nyla versus Maddie. Yay, Mission Pro in the house. Nyla takes her out immediately, which goes into the match, which is what you asked about. But I don't know how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like, I love Thunder Rosa. I love Nyla. I'm so glad Thunder's the champion. But I don't know. I don't like all these attacks, I guess. But it makes good drama. So, and I think Thunder is going to be able to come back and handle this shit. I think she just needs to see, like, instead of getting like blindsided by shit, she says she has some shit planned, and I want to see what it is, because I have a lot of faith in her that it will be good.
There we go.
Okay, well, that was the reason I asked, because I know you're very pro Rosa. I know that you're a big fan of hers. I am too, but not to that same extent. And this to me felt very much everything that is wrong with her run in the last year. She should have had some mic time here. She should have got to celebrate a little bit. She should have got to say whatever she wanted to say, her thank yous, whatever, to the fans, everything else. And instead, she was buried essentially by Vicky with her bullshit. The fucking excuse me. Oh my God, she has been something else this week. But Rosa not getting to speak and then getting sidelined immediately by Nyla. I love Nyla Rose, and I actually love her with Vicky. I think that whole pair is just, it's magic. It's money. This is not what Rosa deserves. She's worked way too long and way too hard to get where she's at. She's clearly injured, I think, right now. We talked about this last week, Rave, where she was working hurt, it seemed like. So yeah, maybe just don't do a segment with her this week.
I would hope not. I hope they don't.
Let's let her have a little bit of rest. If anything, give her a pre-taped thing where nobody bothers her. She gets to say her piece. She's been waiting a long time for this opportunity, for this title run. It makes her having this belt very unimportant when she's supposed to finally get to say something, and you have somebody like Nyla come in out of nowhere with Vicky of all people barking in that fucking microphone, and she's just steamrolled and it's over. I think it's a disservice to her. I think it's a disservice to her run. I think it's really a disservice to her potential and to the whole storyline. This was not good.
Yeah.
And
Well,
as somebody who's not as big of a Thunder Rosa fan, like I'm not like Team Thunder. Like there's other performers I'd rather see have this belt right now, because like I said, the last few weeks, it's too little too late, in my opinion. This should have already been happening, and kind of, we should be on our way out with the next person. So for me, as somebody who's not even like, woohoo, like even I was like, damn, they're cutting this short already.
Well, because I follow Thunder, I feel like she's been celebrating like all over the place in 1,000 different ways. So it's probably
But not on TV though.
But not on TV. And so, but I like, it all blurs together for me. But what I'm doing is just reserving this whatever she has planned to be big enough to overshadow that. And then if it isn't, I'll be upset. But I'm giving everybody the opportunity that whatever she has planned, it's big time stuff, because I think she's capable of big time stuff. And the reason that I'm so beloved of Thunder Rosa is because when I knew nothing about wrestling, which is I'm still very close to knowing nothing, she was one of the first wrestlers I saw that I was like, oh my God, I love this woman. Rafe's gonna love this woman. This is gonna be so fun. This is what we need in our life right now. So she'll always be special to me, because her and a couple of the other wrestlers are the very first ones I saw that got me engaged. And if I had not seen them, I would not have been engaged, because it felt real. It felt fun. I felt the fact that she was smaller, that she was so wild with her energy, that her song was so good, because we all have metal backgrounds here, right? It's like all those things. I was like, it seemed really cool. Her face paint, everything. I was like, I can get around this. This isn't like a bunch of like women holding cards with like their big tits out, which is nothing wrong with having big tits. Show them, ladies. That's cool. But when that's all you see and that's the only thing, I got people agreeing. But when that's all it is, and that's all you see, and then you as a woman are just like, yeah, I can't get into the sport of it because there's nobody there representing people I would, connect with. So that's why I love Thunder so much, because if she had not come out there with Thunder Rosa, like immediately in the first 15 minutes, I would have changed the channel and not been a wrestling fan. So she will like the patron saint of wrestling for me for a long time. And I agree, like the whole like Nyla just to kind of steamrolling everything, I don't enjoy that. But I'm giving that when she says she has something planned, I just want to like leave it like, okay, let me see what you have planned, and hopefully it's badass enough that all this irritation is still theater. We still feel an emotion. So it's like, okay, like we're all like, okay, we need like to see you like do your thing. We want to see her do her thing. If she doesn't do her thing, then to me it will be like more disappointing. But right now I'm okay with like the ride and hoping that it goes somewhere. And like you said, she's injured and probably can't do more anyways.
Right. And then, obviously Nyla Rose caught some heat for this segment, which played into her promo on Rampage, and we'll get to that. But I was really genuinely curious from the standpoint of knowing how important Rosa was to you as a performer and as somebody who got you paying attention.
Very much.
I was curious because I'm angry about her not getting more of a spotlight here. So I was wondering what it would be like for you. It sounds like though you're just on for the ride. You're ready to support her, even though this kind of sucks right now. I respect it. I dig it.
I think she's badass enough to come out on top.
Nice. All right.
Fair enough.
Then we had Dark Order versus Jericho Garcia. And Tammy's got to start this one because she just, she loves Daniel Garcia.
Jericho Garcia. Let me get to my notes.
Listen, this was the saving grace for the show, though.
I'm not saying my notes are bad. I'm just looking for them.
Okay.
My notes are all messed up this week. Here it is. Okay.
All right, here we go.
You really ready?
Oh yeah,
we're ready.
I don't tell anybody about this podcast. So my first note is I'm really high now.
Wait. Did you just say this is why I don't tell anybody? You need to tell more people, because look at the views and look at the listeners. Rafe, I don't see all the stats
I will.
for all the other stuff.
I'll post this
tell
for
some
them
people
today.
I don't have anyone to tell, or I'd be telling everybody.
All right, because my first note on this one is I'm really high right now.
All right, I see what you're saying then.
It's true.
I get it.
So my first note was, I mean, I do these honestly and in the moment, okay, people? I'm really high right now. Dark Order have a lot of heart. Now we have to watch them lose assholes. Wow. Johnny Hungy, exclamation point. He was fantastic. Garcia gets it by Jericho cheat. Boo.
Oh, I know how much you hate him.
Yeah. I'm not liking all this. But I do like that. Actually, I like them paired together because they all fit. They're very like their assholery stupidness with their stupid, what is it? Sports entertainment bullshit. I love it because that's what they are. They're assholes.
That's my new favorite word. That's the word of the week. You heard it right here, folks, on the All Elite Murder Theater podcast. Assholery. That shit is trademarked and copyrighted. Thank you, Tammy. Assholery.
Did I say
Assholery.
that? I didn't even remember saying that
You
word.
just did, and it was beautiful. Rave, how did you feel about this match, man?
I loved it because it pissed off Tammy so much, which means that Jericho is doing his job.
I warned you guys, and I'm going to keep saying it. Like, Jericho is being Jericho, and
Oh.
it's beautiful.
It's perfect.
Drink it in, man, as one Chris Jericho would say.
Right. I'm telling you, I really thought the match was perfect. It's you going against everybody who loves Johnny Hungy in the Dark Order. You've got you got Jericho, who wasn't an asshole and is now a complete asshole. And you got Daniel Garcia, which Tammy detests to see him even on the screen. So it's like, job done. Perfect. Job is done. Good match. Job's done.
True.
So that's the way I felt about it. It's like, it was awesome. Go ahead, Chris.
All right. Here's what I'll say. The back half of the show was bad, right? It was a lot of nonsense. The energy was kind of sucked out of the building, sucked out of people watching, I'm sure, at this point.
Right.
I feel like this match in particular probably should have went on first or second on this show. And if not, they should have saved it for Rampage.
Right.
And the reason I say that is not because of the talent of anybody involved in it, but because of the energy and the vibe at the time that it happened. That being said, this was sports entertainment, right? Jericho and Garcia are now sports entertainers. Jericho nails it because that's the world he came from. He invented that world, okay? Daniel Garcia is very much a professional wrestler. He is not sports entertainment at all. He's never worked for that company that coined that phrase. Matt and Jeff, or whatever they're called now, Magic Daddy and Cool Hand, whatever, right? They're from that world. They're sports entertainers. Jake Hager is from that world, sports entertainer. Daniel Garcia is very much like a baby Daniel Bryan Danielson. Not a sports entertainer, a professional wrestler in sports entertainment, yes? Mm-hmm. So to see him saying all the, we're sports entertainment, we beat pro wrestlers' asses, blah, 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 blah. And then you go out there and you behave as a professional wrestler should. You're not giving me long rest holds. You're not giving me dramatic poses to the crowd. You're not giving me a bunch of bullshit gimmick. You're not a sports entertainer, my guy. You're just saying words in a promo because Chris says it's cool.
Right.
I'm not on board with this. And as much, again, 2.0 have warmed up so much for me. I really enjoy these guys now. I still enjoy Jake Hager, despite the fact that he's like just a big, dumb tree trunk that gets in fights sometimes. Daniel Garcia is like, he's like the gum on your shoe that you just can't get rid of. Like, there's so much good stuff happening and he's still stuck there, and you have toothpicks and maybe like a grill fork, and you're just working it and it's not coming off. You don't know what to do. And he's still there and everything else is fine. But there's this one thing. I feel like Daniel Garcia would be much better off on his own doing something else. This whole vibe is not working for him. The shit he was doing before is not working for him. There's something really, really irritating about this kid. It just hurt. Like, he's almost triggering my gag reflex. I can't with this guy. I can't. I'm done. Daniel Garcia is a waste of TV time.
Oh boy, he's really doing his job.
When we're talking, this is sort of a side conversation that I'm wondering, like, so because you were talking about like Jake's a MMA guy, and then you got sports entertainment conversation, and then there's wrestling and this and that. This is a side conversation. I got in a little trouble partying with some people from Mexico about a week ago.
Yeah, dude, this is just.
No, listen.
What year is it, you guys?
It doesn't stop, dude.
This also feels very 90s to me.
But the thing is, like, we were
It might have
Oh no, everybody froze.
Oh, they're doing jobs in Florida. They were at the same hotel. We were sharing beers and getting into conversations. And one of them was about wrestling. And I was talking about luchadors and
Hold on, you were in a room with Mexicans trying to talk about luchadors?
got me in big trouble.
Tammy.
Why? I didn't know. So one of them was in the MMA and he was very upset with me.
Oh my God. This is why we don't let you do stuff by yourself.
This is
We
my
were
life.
finding common ground in something that was indigenous to their culture that I enjoyed, but they were pissed off of even suggesting anything about luchadors and wrestling when this guy was into MMA. So they were still very nice and it all ended up well. Don't worry. But so this sports entertainment, MMA and wrestling, do they all like don't like each other?
No. Okay. So sports entertainment is wrestling. Okay. Professional wrestling is sports entertainment. Sports entertainment is
And
professional
so is
wrestling.
luchador, right? But it's more of a
Yeah,
people.
that's wrestling.
Yes,
Lucha is
I
wrestling.
know. So why were they
And a
upset?
luchador is a wrestler.
Yeah,
They were upset because they actually fight people.
right. That's
They
fine.
actually like
Punch
get
them in the
punched a
face.
lot and also punch other people. And very much like super, instead of just accidents happen kind of thing, it's like, I know I'm trying to hurt this motherfucker. If I get my face broken or a arm gets snapped in half, that's part of my job. That's not really the job of a professional wrestler.
Yeah, but I
The job of a
recognize
professional
that.
wrestler or a sports entertainer is to make us believe that might happen, but we all know it won't because they're very safe and very careful and they take care of each other. MMA is very different. The point is to knock your opponent unconscious or make them quit
Right.
because you
And
hurt them very
I
badly.
understand that. And I wasn't trying to equate them both, but they still
But
felt
they
like
take it that way.
I didn't try. They're the one that I brought up the luchador first, then they brought up the
Listen,
MMA.
to them, you were basically saying like, "Oh, you're a professional fighter. I've also seen movies." Like
Okay.
it's.
I understand,
You know
but
what I'm
I
saying?
started the conversation. I started it. They didn't say I'm an MMA, and then I said, "Oh, you like luchadors?" Because I know they're different.
That would have been even better.
I wasn't being a dumbass like that. I don't know, but all I know is the guy that did MMA did not want to fist bump me initially after that conversation. And then they walked around the corner and had a conversation and came back and were cordial the rest of the time.
That's because it was like, "Hey, man, calm down. Nobody gives a shit. Relax. She's not disrespecting you. She's just talking because she doesn't know any better." That's what that conversation was.
Exactly that conversation. That's exactly what it was.
All
Wow.
right. Well, I guess I will never bring it up again. And really, it meant no disrespect. I totally know one is more of a risk, but I do feel they're both a risk. And all I was talking about was, if
No, the
we're
difference isn't the risk, it's the intention. That's
Right.
what I think you're still missing here. They want to hurt people.
Anyways,
When you're an
I was not
MMA or
complaining.
you're a boxer or you're any like actual competitive combat fighter, your job is to dismantle that
Just
other
kill
person's
them.
body
I
to the
certainly
point where
wasn't.
they can't get back up and hurt you.
I agree. I was not trying to say they were both the same thing. That's why I couldn't understand where we were veering off, because I was not trying to act like they were both the same thing.
Well, see, okay, here, our podcast is about murder theater
Right?
versus actual murder.
Right.
Totally
Okay.
get that.
Oh
I
Lord.
might have brought something up like that.
All right,
So-
we're way off the rails.
Okay. Anyways, they were very nice people. We had a great time. It all ended up okay, but I was like, I better just keep
That's
my
good.
fucking mouth shut when it comes to luchadors around people from Mexico from now on. And if you're from Mexico and you're listening to this, please put in the comments what I did wrong and what I should do in the future, and if I should not mention it, because I didn't see that one coming. I was
Well,
just
also,
I was
I'll
just
disable
making small
comments.
talk, honestly, like about things that like asking questions,
to that same point, also, I think in Mexico as a culture, professional wrestling is taken much more seriously, and it's kayfabe is very much still alive down there.
Okay.
Whereas here, I think it's, it kind of is what it is. It's fun, it's entertainment. Down there, it's still a very important and very serious like profession.
Well, I feel like it has something to do with, like, from what I've understood, and I'd love to have like a whole documentary on the whole history, is that it's really about the people, that it gave hope during times that a lot of political unrest was happening. And so that's kind of why I love the luchadors and people like Penta, because they seem like folk heroes in a lot of ways. So I think that's really cool. And
True.
that's all
Okay.
that's the only conversation I was trying to have.
Okay, after that derailing, let's get back
Now,
on track.
in a very unsmooth segue, what do you guys think about the best? Who looked the best or worst this week? And I got to grab some extra headphones. I'm still listening though.
House of Black. They had their battle vests on.
I thought the same thing, but I have
We're
another
all
one.
in agreement again.
I have another one.
Oh,
Is that the only one you guys had?
that's the only one I had.
Yep.
My guy Swerve was killing it this week.
Oh, he
True.
was looking fancy.
He had a
Swerve
cool
was looking
jacket.
fancy.
Fresh. All right, give me a second. Let me switch these out. I have a low battery. See if I can still hear. Probably not.
But yeah, I thought the House of Black had the coolest. They're starting to get all of everything coordinated together, and they're starting to look. They got their look symmetrical now, and they're all killing it as far as they're.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, dope. Yeah, man. House of Black looks like
They're ready.
the most professional tag team in wrestling history.
Yeah,
I don't know. And they look like they could be a band. They could be a wrestling team. They could just be a group of guys that rides motorcycles and beats people up. They could literally do anything together, and everybody would be like, maybe.
All right.
They're very scary, and I'm afraid, and I like my life too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, Swerve was killing it, man. He was rocking furs this week. I saw some leather. Can we just acknowledge real quick also that in AEW, we have so many wrestlers with a fantastic shoe game. The amount of Jordans and Dunks and Airs and all the things I see, these guys are like serious guys and girls, serious sneakerheads in AEW.
They are.
I'd be willing to bet we'd have probably enough to buy a 2022 Toyota Sienna, just with the footwear of one week's shows.
Right. Exactly.
Awesome.
All right, game time.
Game time, baby. Who's doing what game? What are we doing?
You get the games, buddy.
You.
You.
All right. Well, in that case, ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.
Oh, he's
all
got
right.
the question marks. I love it.
First game this week. Let's go with name that wrestler, shall we?
All right.
Now, in case anybody who's listening or watching has not watched or listened before, a few weeks ago we started a new segment called Name That Wrestler. Basically, I run down a list of accolades for a certain individual, and it is my teammates' obligation to decide who I might be describing. And this week is no different. So, name that wrestler. This individual has been a part of promotions such as ROH, Rev Pro, NOAH, ICW, NWA, HOH, PWG, FCW, and even the dreaded WWE, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a few titles this individual has held. We're looking at a two-time ROH Tag Team Champion, a two-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, AAW Heritage Championship, APW Worldwide Internet Championship, IWC Super Indian Championship, OVW Television Championship. And I will say this individual has also been a part of other countless promotions. The list was far too long. They have held multiple titles. The list was far, far too long. Some of their finishing moves are as follows: the Billy Goat's Curse, the Chicago Crab, the Claw Hold, the Chicago Skyline, the double underhook, overhead gut wrench, backbreaker, rack drop. Name that wrestler.
You fucking kidding me?
I have no idea.
Keith Lee. A heavyweight.
Tammy says Keith Lee. Rafe, what do you got?
I need
Is it a
another.
tag team? Is it a tag team or what individual?
Can we
This
ask-
is an individual.
Can we ask questions that don't lead us to it?
I might not have the answer.
No,
but
I
sure,
already
why
said
not?
the answer. You got to say it. You can have no more information.
Tammy's making the rules now.
I don't like her.
Okay, so look, this person has worked for like every single promotion that could be named on the internet, right? Everyone. If you can think of a promotion, they've worked there. They've held almost every title in those promotions.
Currently in AEW now.
Currently in AEW, been in the game for a long time, but doesn't seem that old.
I'm gonna say Jay Lethal.
All right, so Rafe says Jay Lethal. Tammy said what now?
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee. You're both wrong.
Oh, damn it.
Who is it?
Colt Cabana.
Oh no, Colt Cabana.
Tammy don't like Colt
I don't think of
Cabana.
him as heavy. That was a
That
good one.
guy right here has had a super decorated wrestling career. Been in so many promotions, been doing this shit for a long time. The cat has held multiple titles. Some of these tag titles
Wow.
were with the one and only CM Punk.
Wow.
Very popular
I'm
tag
being
team. Those two.
educated.
Colt Cabana is so underrated. And just as a background member of the Dark Order in AEW, I just want to say this on record. Thank you, Colt Cabana, for many, many years of entertainment. I appreciate you. You deserve more than you're getting. Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, that was a good
Awesome.
one.
I
man.
learned some big time stuff there. Thank
And
you.
that was Name That Wrestler.
Right on.
Woo!
All right, we're on to name that move now, right? Which move is fake?
We can go there if you want to. Are you really ready for the second game?
Oh, I am. I'm ready. And then we'll get into Rampage.
All right. It is time for Real or Fake.
Real or fake?
Real or fake?
Real or Fake is the name of the game. The object
Nice.
here is I'm going to give you 3 names of wrestling moves. They might be finishers. They might be takedowns. They might be holds. The bottom line is 2 of these are real, okay? 1 of these is bullshit. Your job is to figure out which one of these 3 names is a fake. Number 1, the fisherman's suplex. Number 2, the grapevine takedown. Grapevine, okay? Grapevine takedown. Number 3, the shark bite ankle lock. And again, before you answer, fisherman suplex, grapevine takedown, shark bite ankle lock. Which one is fake? Only one of them is not real.
Grapevine-
Yeah, this one's hard.
Grapevine takedown.
I agree.
You are both wrong.
Which
This
one
is-
was it?
It's a shark bite thing.
The shark bite ankle lock
Damn
is
it.
the fake move this week.
Damn it. See,
Well,
I knew
even if I lost, I'm still winning because I still
So
have more.
congratulations to both of you on a valiant effort. However, neither of you are rewarded any points for this week.
The problem is, I thought you were throwing us off by singing the song.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't a good host. So
oh,
games
Damn
are
it.
over, folks.
But I'm
Games
still
are
in the
over.
lead overall. Ray.
you are. You win. You rule. You're the greatest. Thanks.
The great. The great.
We're moving on to Rampage.
Right.
Dustin Rhodes versus Lance Archer. Not as brutal as I expected, but still brutal. I like the table slam. That was fun. Dustin was bleeding out of his ear. That was pretty wild. A couple of near falls, a good couple of choke slams. It seemed a little clunky though when he got the pin. Tammy, you have notes?
I do.
All right.
Thank you for asking.
Uh-oh. Chris is not
Let's do
pleased
it.
with
I'm
this.
right here. Let's
Drinking his
see.
porter.
Lance always using people as props. Kind of fun. Yay, Dustin hit Lambert. I hate him. Lance loves being a villain. Not starting well for Dustin. I'm waiting on a paradigm shift. Comes at the end with a clunky win.
That's Moxley.
But Lance isn't having it.
Paradigm shift.
I said I was waiting on it.
That's because you're
From
gonna
who?
wait. You're gonna wait a long time because that's John Moxley.
He's not there.
That's
I think he's
Moxley's
in the
move.
building.
What are you talking about? I didn't say anything about Moxley.
Because
You said
that's
the paradigm shift.
and that's
Dude,
Moxley's
Is that the
Specifically
only
move.
time we're
Moxley's
allowed to use
finisher.
that phrase?
No, he's the only one that has that. Plenty of other performers have a very similar move or a version of the DDT.
I wasn't talking about a move. I was talking about it actually happening, like a real paradigm shift with things where Lance was kicking ass for.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right. That makes more sense.
Like
Now I feel like an idiot.
I'm sorry. Like I got really confused.
See?
Like,
Stupid names of wrestling moves, right?
yeah, exactly. We're still in the wrestling move. No, I was saying an actual one, an actual paradigm shift.
It makes way more sense.
It does.
So it's not starting well for Dustin, but was waiting on a paradigm shift where it just changed. Comes at the end with a clunky win, and Lance is not having it, so he beats up Dustin after, and then Dustin's students come out and they throw him through a table. You know, I mean, it was fun, but I don't know, not my favorite of the week. I do like Lance as a villain. I think he's healing it up. I think he loves it. You can tell he's relishing it, and I like that part of it. And that's it.
Rafe, what do you think of this one?
It's not as it was. I thought it would be more exciting. I really did. I thought it would be a little bit more. It seemed a little stiff and it seemed a little clunky. And I thought that Archer seemed like he was having a bad night because he wasn't as aggressive as he usually is. There was some bleeding and all that. That was kind of cool, but that seemed forced. And the whole match seemed kind of forced to me. And so I wasn't that impressed with it.
I agree. So when I saw that this was going to be a match on Rampage, I thought, oh, this is the match on Rampage. Like this one's going to be a fucking knockdown, drag out. We're going to see all kinds of stuff. We're going to see Lance Archer go to the limit with one and only Dustin Rhodes. It's going to be epic. We didn't get that. We got a lot of Lance Archer kind of controlling this. Dustin was maybe a sliver of what he normally is here. Obviously, somebody booked it this way and said, hey, Dustin, you're going to take a dive on this. Dustin did not get his signature offense most of this match. There was a couple parts where he got a little bit of shit in or whatever. But this was a very unrealistic match, in my opinion.
I agree.
If anybody could have been a match for Lance Archer and put on a fucking slobber knocker, burn the house down, everybody's cheering match, it would be Dustin and Lance. It's not what we got. What we got is kind of a typical Lance Archer's in control, whatever, for the purposes of whatever. It was a very long match considering that's what we got.
Right.
And there was never really any momentum for Dustin at all, which make it. So if Dustin had been 100% Dustin in this match and Lance Archer still got the win, that would have meant a lot because Dustin Rhodes, as a performer, as a wrestler, as just a human being, is like deep down a bad son of a bitch, right? Like you don't want to catch him on a bad day because you're probably going to lose. And we didn't get that. So Lance Archer beating him was not like that important. It wasn't that big because there was no big Dustin. There was no like fighting back. There was no super drama kind of big vibe. It was just, it fell flat, I think. And it put Rampage off to a very slow and kind of boring start, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, it did. It was a very clunky, slow start. When Jay Lethal, then after the commercial break, we got Jay Lethal come out. He says, you know, he's got some thinking to do. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And so we'll see how they push Jay
Back to
Lethal's
the drawing board, I guess. As he
basically
said.
back to the drawing board. Then Fuego's in the center of the ring. And Fuego basically challenges the House of Black.
What an idiot. What
Dumb.
a fucking idiot.
And of course, the House of Black comes out and they got their battle vests and they're looking cool as ever.
Yeah,
And
they
they-
answered very concisely and quickly, didn't they?
Oh, they did.
Loved it.
And they just slammed him and just
Loved it.
assassin. That was it. And, oh boy, which is cool. And then where did I go? I missed number 4. What was after that?
Dark Order comes out though. They come
Right.
all the way down.
That's right.
They
That's
make-
right.
They make this trip out to the ring only for them to stand there, look at House of Black, and House of Black to look at them. Malachi stops everybody from getting involved. He says, "Is this really what you want?" Talking to Uno, and
Right.
Uno just kind of like, "Man, I feel like we're supposed to be here. I really don't know why. Maybe we don't fight tonight." And Malachi's like, "Yeah, maybe we'll just go around you and we'll just leave."
Yeah.
And that was that. And
Yeah. That's
what
basically
what the
that promo.
fuck? What was this?
I have no idea.
This was so stupid.
It wasn't
What was
really.
the point?
I don't
Fuego's not in Dark Order.
know. Yeah, I know. It didn't make any sense. It's like, I mean,
Where the hell was Sammy?
right. So no Sammy. There
He's
was,
too busy. He's too busy blowing on belts back there. I don't
I don't know what. And I mean, and here's another thing. It's like, didn't he just have a battle against them with the Bear Country? Why
Yes.
wouldn't have Bear Country just come out? You
That
know
was
what I
his
mean?
whole promo. Like, you know what? There were people chanting my name. I felt good. Y'all ain't shit. Come
Right.
on out here. Despite the fact that I'm smaller and I don't have anybody here with me,
Right.
you fight 3 very large, very angry, serious guys. No.
Yeah, it was
Lego
good.
was dumb. The shit with Dark Order was dumb. Not a good start still.
No. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have a lot of trouble disagreeing with you on that after you made that point. So then all of a sudden Scorpio Sky decides he's going to close
With
the
it-
open challenge for the belts
With his filthy belts.
with his filthy belts that have been okay. Yep.
No more
exactly.
open challenge.
If
Okay.
anybody's watching, Tammy
Yawn.
is yawning.
Listen,
Oh,
I actually think this idea was kind of clever. Dropping the open
Oh, really?
challenge. I think that's kind of cool. Because it makes the belt a little more important. You can't just be anybody. You've got to have some stats. And as they said, you've got to build your resume. Okay, cool.
Okay.
But where do we go from there? Nowhere, apparently. We move on to the next shit.
Yeah, everything just jumps in, and then we got Allen 5, Angels, and 10 versus Red Dragon.
Why? Why though? Why?
I don't know why. I think it's just an entertainment match. I mean, I really
That's
think
the same thing I wrote. I don't know why.
Tammy, you have notes?
I do.
All right, let's hear the notes.
All right, Red Dragon, good wrestlers, serve a purpose, not excited by them. Like Allen and Tim better, but no one ever lets them win. Boom. Then a Jurassic Express comes out with Adam behind Red Dragon and Adam steals the belts. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know what I wrote right there? I wrote, why is Jurassic Express coming out right now?
Yeah, why?
They're not in Dark Order. This makes no sense, right? Right?
It's
And also, of all the people in Dark Order to fight, why was it 10 and 5? Why was it not Silver and Reynolds? They've got a history with these guys.
Right.
Okay. Now here's the big one. Why did we have Dark Order? Do you want to know why? No
Yeah.
reason. Why do we have Jurassic Express? So Adam Cole could come out and steal some more belts.
That's it.
What? Are you serious? We're going to ignore stables and we're going to ignore teams and we're going to pretend all this shit makes no sense just so Adam Cole can collect some more belts that don't belong to him because he has to cheat every fucking time he wins and can't get a belt himself.
He needs to flap his cheeks and go away.
None of this shit means anything anymore, guys. Welcome
Fly
to
away with
Rampage.
those cheeks. Fly.
Fly away with those cheeks. That's what he needs to do. Yes, I agree. It doesn't make any sense. None of it
It's
made
so
sense.
dumb. It's so dumb.
And then we have a Nyla promo, and she's ready to take the belt, and we'll see if she does.
Look, that was actually a killer promo.
It was a good promo. She's good at promos, man.
Because she has a theater background.
She's
The
really
promo
good.
was great. She said, of course it was disrespectful. That was the whole point, you boneheads.
Yeah. She was
Beautiful.
great at that. And then Tammy, we go into the Maddie Rinkowski match, which you blended into the other promo, but that's fine.
I did. I'm sorry.
And we love Maddie.
I'm not
We've seen-
completely sane and down to earth yet here. Okay.
We've seen her live, so I'm glad to see Maddie Rinkowski on TV.
Maddie came out and got folded up like a pita
Yeah.
pocket in under 3 minutes. It was pointless.
It was a
But
squash
Maddie's
match.
actually like she's a hard worker.
She's
follow her.
amazing.
She's a
Another
much
Mission
better
Pro girl.
service.
I love all the Mission Pro girls. So, I'm always happy to see her get an opportunity. And I just sit there and go, you know what? One day I'm going to be like, I remember when you were jobbing because you're a star now.
Yeah. I mean, I hope she becomes a star because I think she's really good.
Be right back.
Squash
1
match.
second. Sorry.
All right.
Poor
Whoa.
Maddie Renkowski. My God.
Yep. She got squashed.
She's on Dark and Elevation and stuff every week, just getting mud swamped, right? And
Yeah,
then
but she's
she
getting
shows
on
up.
there.
She shows up on a real show just to get folded in half, like a cheap quesadilla, and it's over.
Yep. Yep. But she's getting there, and we're seeing her more, and she's got matches against prominent people, so that's really good. That's a good thing. Sucks that she got smashed, but that's the way it goes. And then we have another stupid ass segment, which is mind blowing.
I don't
QT
even-
Marshall's
I've picked up my
certificate of
notes and
accomplishment.
thrown them 3 times now.
I know. QT Marshall's certificate of accomplishment to Hook. Who gives a shit?
What was the point of this segment?
I don't know. And then why did they even bring Danhausen out? I mean, he's not even like, why?
Because that shit is cool. That's why.
I love Danhausen
Because he's cursing everybody. He's making an in-ring debut soon because I think his injuries are all starting to finally be healed up. I read that recently that he's like, yeah, everything's finally looking good. The doctors are clearing me, whatever. I think we're going to see him soon. I don't know why they threw him into this.
yeah, it made no sense. None of this made sense to me at all. And just
And
remember,
QT holding the thing up with 2
Right.
hands, super stiff, like he's at a
karate
show
match
and somebody's about to break a cylinder.
board for karate, like a karate board.
I'm trying to say cinder block, and for some reason it wants to come out cylinder block. Anyway, so he's holding the thing, right? And Aaron Solo, he's in the background going, yeah, man, that looks good, dude. What do you think about that? And then he gets his head smashed. Come on, man. It looked like it was made by a 4th grader with access to Microsoft Word. It was a terrible looking certificate. The picture frame came from the dollar store, clearly. And Aaron
Awful.
Solo's face fit better in it than the paper did.
It did.
This was all really stupid.
Dumb.
And then Mr. Danhausen, for no reason, decides to come out and curse Hook or his certificate. I'm not sure which. Maybe just cursing the idea of this whole segment. Maybe Danhausen was on it before we could get there. I don't know.
Maybe. It was just ridiculous. And just remember this. Tammy said, you will never see a t-shirt with just Aaron Solo on it.
You'll never find.
So Aaron Solo doesn't get a t-shirt.
It's true. Where's the Nick Camarado shirts?
No,
Same
not
thing.
existed. It's either the
Nick will
factory.
get one before Aaron will, though.
Yeah, Tammy doesn't like Aaron Solo.
Probably, despite the fact that Aaron Solo is actually a really good wrestler. Like, he's just so background.
He is. He's
So
just-
background.
He really is. This thing was stupid. This whole thing was stupid. Tammy, you got anything to say about this ridiculous thing or
I
what?
had one word note. Whatever.
Yeah, it was like whatever. It just made no sense. It was an excuse to bring Hook on television. That's it.
Yep.
Right.
Hey, Hook, it's Rampage. You're supposed to do something this week.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me smash some
Feels like
dude's
there was
head.
like a lot of money invested in them and they're trying to get their investment back.
We
but I
need
don't
some
even think it's
chips.
that.
Right, we get some Doritos.
Where's my hoodie at?
Maybe some Doritos. some
Put this
stuff.
hoodie a quarter of the way up so all my hair's out front. I'm
Right.
ready. What do you want to
I
do?
wonder if we don't get hooked because we're old.
I guess we don't.
That has to be it.
It
That
has
is
to
the
be.
only explanation at this point that makes any sense. I'm just too old to understand it. And I
Yeah.
can't find any research on the internet that says otherwise.
Yeah, it's just baffling.
He's just, I'm too old.
Yeah. So what did you think of the Ricky Starks Swerve Strickland match? Christopher?
Tammy, how about you go first?
Oh, okay.
I feel like it's your family that calls you Christopher, right?
Well,
What do
I
other
mean,
people
you
call
guys are
you?
my family too.
I know, but only us. Do other people call you Chris or Christopher?
So my wife calls me Christopher if she's really mad at me. My kids, so one of my kids calls me Craig if she's giving me a hard time. The rest of them call me Dad.
Craig.
Yeah, she calls me Craig. She thinks it's hilarious. I call her Walter. It's a thing. Christopher is rarely used unless it's like maybe mom calls me that sometimes. A lot of people used to say that when I was younger, but they've all since left us. So we got Rafe, mom, and my angry wife. That's it. Those are the three that still
What? I've always called you that.
summon the Christopher.
So who are we talking
Oh,
about?
don't get me wrong. I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Is it your turn, Christopher or Chris, or Craig to do Ricky Starks and
No,
Swerve?
no,
No,
Tammy.
we passed it to
Why
you.
me first?
Tammy, I would like you to talk about
Okay.
Starks and Swerve.
I don't know why I said this is what does FTW mean? That was my first note.
It's the FTW championship belt, the most
I know.
important belt in all of professional wrestling.
But what does it stand for?
Fuck the world.
Okay. Oh, does it really? Okay. All right. Well, we'll get back to that meaning. It says both have some good moves, some nice drama, a lot of good counters, but slightly less smooth at times. I felt like there was like a lot of like, it could have been better. Hobbs intervenes and Ricky gets it. Keith Lee throws dude. And then I don't know what that word is. Something about a
I like.
Oh,
when
he threw a
Duke-
dude through a sign, right? And then beats up an entourage. Oh, everyone fights. I liked that part a lot. That was my note.
And everybody fights.
Is that what they're singing?
No.
Oh.
I'm not sold on Ricky Starks. I like Swerve.
Yeah,
That's-
you do.
That's the way I feel about
You're
it.
goddamn right, you do.
I do. I like Swerve a lot. He's cool.
So this was a good match. We got a glimpse of Swerve and his style and his in-ring prowess, right? We got a lot of almost there kind of moments from him. He definitely should have won this one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And this is, I don't know how many matches now that Ricky Starks has been in where the FTW, whatever it is, it was on the line. Ricky Starks is obnoxious with this belt, this fake fucking belt. It's stupid. I need somebody else to get it so it can go away. Swerve is like he's like the perfect modern wrestler. He's flashy. He's got a lot of different moves. He knows a lot of different counters. He's quick, like his timing is fast paced.
Very.
I dig Swerve style, and I also dig like his swag, like just his general vibe. Like he comes in and it's like this dude owns this place. It doesn't matter where he is. Everything is Swerve's whole whose house?
Swerve's house.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's got it, whatever it is.
Yeah, I can see that.
And for this match to be another Ricky Starks victory, it makes my oatmeal sour, and I don't like it. And it was a bad ending to a bad show for me.
Yeah, it was disappointing. I mean, obviously, you can't just come in and win one match and then all of a sudden have some type of belt. in AEW, so I wasn't totally expecting him to win. Did I
But
want
it's not
him?
even a real belt.
Right. Did I
He
want him?
could have won it. Who
I
cares?
know, I know. Did I want him to win? Yeah, I did want him to win. But it seems like it's setting up that tag match between Swerve, Keith Lee, Hobbs, and Starks. So that I find to be exciting. What happened? Tammy like faded out there.
What are you doing, Tammy? You
Me?
just-
Yeah, she's like a Muppet or something, like coming up and down, and like it's like, what are you? Is Jim Henson running you? I mean, what's going on here? It's like,
Explain myself.
We're doing a podcast here, cuz.
right, you can't like just flay out of the frame. Like it's just Tammy. Huh?
And they come back talking about, wait, what are we
What?
talking about? Where were we?
What? Who? Oh, let me look at my notes. Oh, here are my notes.
Oh man.
But I'm looking forward to see it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Swerve in the future. I think he's much cooler than fucking Hook.
Man, he's
Yeah.
got a huge future in this company, man. His
Yeah.
style, everything about this kid is so great.
It's
For what
cool.
AEW is. I'm here all for it. And no shitting on Hook either. Like
No.
whatever it is about him, it's something I don't connect to, but people obviously love it.
Yeah.
And the same could be said for a lot of the roster. I think there's a lot of young talent in this company that has yet to like show their shining moments. You know what I mean? I think we'll get there eventually.
But we'll figure it out one way or the other.
At some point.
And then we'll have some great wrestling coming up. Holy shit. Hey, you know, I got my card.
Oh my God, what happened to Chris's screen? There was a woman there. Oh,
There's a
it's
woman.
him. What? I thought I saw like a woman from the desert with like a cloak on.
A woman from the desert. What? Dude. This podcast. Oh my God. We're just gonna have to flap our cheeks right out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's it.
boys and girls, children of all ages, anybody who's got a breath in your body.
We're done. Goodbye on that note.